nation, sitting here deciding just what we're gonna do. Doesn't make a lot of sense if only someone knew how to change the thinking of one power-hungry land. Afraid to say they blew it, made a lot of people mad. How can someone analyze stupidity and flaw? We should all get together, push them up against the wall, shake them down.
On this very special edition of Coachella Valley Music Show, the Roni Lee Group featuring Lynn Sorensen of the legendary band Bad Company and the band WAXY.
I'm Roni Lee, this is my band, and we're gonna do some shit. This is Lynn Sorensen, played with Paul Rogers and Bad Company. This is Simona Bresci behind me from Milan. She's one of the kick-ass women drummers in the whole world. And this is Karen Thomas. She's beautiful and she can sing her ass off. And I play guitar.
Teach them to grow old.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, that's it. Stared at him with a big blue eyes. I got a touch of me. You are all timers, you know. You never made me stay, take away from me. I know you'll ever leave, just maybe. I've been here times before, I was too blind to see. You said peace of the night, you won't seduce me. Say that's okay, baby, do what you want. Be the first to talk. Wanna go to your mom. like boys. I want to be where the boys are. Boys didn't used to let girls play with them. But Lynn plays like a girl.
Must be a goddamn messaging tool I've been taking lately. I just realized this is the first time I moved in a band where I'm the only guy in it.
I pulled this on
What is
him.
this about?
We were driving up the hill and he goes, shit, I'm in a car with all girls. I gotta sneak that in on him sometimes. Boys don't notice things right away, right guys? They're like, oh, that's where the milk is. Right in front of me!
But our little brain finds it out real quick then. Our little brain knows exactly what's going on.
I can't hear you. But that's what girls do. What? Now you are my toy. I'm lightning of you away. I'm playing all your noise.
Coachella Valley Music Show producer David Ross caught up with Roni Lee and Lynn Sorensen in Pomona, California.
Okay, we are on location with Lynn Sorensen and Roni Lee. Hi guys.
Hi David.
We just watched a really rockin' show over here at the main stage in Ramona, which I drove a long way to get to.
So did we.
I must say, but it was worth it.
So did he.
And you guys are opening up tonight for Johnny Winter.
That's right.
So what'd you think? How'd it go tonight?
It was great. It was great crowd. There's some of them right now.
There's some of them, yay!
It's a great crowd here. You know, the crowd makes the night, and they were awesome. So we just kind of mirrored what they were doing, which was partying. So.
Oh, you took command of this.
Oh, I took command of something.
Lynn, you come all the way out here from Washington to play with Roni, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why you do that.
Because she's so fucking.
You can go ahead. It's internet.
So good.
She is very good.
And I'm good at begging.
And
I'm the best beggar.
She's irresistible.
and you
Irresistible.
now you can talk about and tell everybody about you played the Covington concert
Played the Covington
in Palm Desert
Yes,
at the
I did.
Hood
Yes, I
and
did.
tore the place up.
Yes, I did. Tore the place up.
And you played with Alvin Taylor,
who
we just had on the show.
Hendricks.
And Ricky
Well,
Hen-
actually, Ricky had broke his arm, but he was there. With
right.
us.
But he was there and he sang.
Yeah.
And Lynn, you were gonna be there, but I guess you couldn't quite get there.
That was one of those times when he had to visit his mother, because Lynn is a mama's boy.
Aww.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
oh
nothing
yeah,
but
that's
the
what it
truth.
is.
So tell me, Lynn, when you're in Washington, you know, because your career, your
He
past,
doesn't do anything except play with me.
the old bad
That's it.
company
Sit on the
thing.
couch,
I
right?
sit, I watch the phone, I go, oh,
Yeah,
Ronnie's gonna
and
bring.
you watch Seinfeld.
The phone's ringing. Is
The
it
phone's ringing.
Ronnie?
Ronnie? Yes, it is. No.
No, the check's in the mail.
It's
and
an Amway salesman
Yeah.
again. Damn it.
Just wait for that phone.
But I mean, you know, with all your past career, you know, you've done the bad company thing, and now you play with Ronnie and all this stuff, and you're in Washington. Does that kind of make it harder for you to get out and do what you want to do?
No, it's like
If the pay is right, you'll go, right?
a jet. Jets
You're on the way,
Jets
yeah.
go real fast.
Jets are. Actually, a jet can get you somewhere faster than rush hour traffic
Yes,
in LA.
yes.
No hands down.
Now you liked playing the Hood, and
Yes, I
you
did.
liked playing it, and you want to come back. So
I like the Hood.
we're gonna get Roni Lee Group, and hopefully Lynn will join her,
Yes.
and they're gonna come and they're gonna play
Persuasive powers.
the Coachella Valley
Thanks for
again.
the jacket, by the way. It's stunning.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I really-
Oh, look at this.
It's a good look for me. A windbreaker high school thing.
And now I guess we're gonna go back in and we're gonna watch Johnny Winter.
Let's
Well, I
do
guess
it.
that's
Let's
what
do
we're
it. Say goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Coachella Valley Music Show in the house. All right, this first song's To Get Closer.
Thank
And now Coachella Valley Music Show welcomes WAXY. We have Robbie Waldman and Nigel Dettelbach. Get that right? And your music is considered hard progressive rock. Is that accurate? An accurate statement, would you say?
I'd say that's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have to ask you where you got the name WAXY. Where did that come from?
You know, I've been in a lot of bands in and out over the years.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of musicians. You know, we're both in multiple bands right now.
Right.
So I had this long list of names, and I had a bunch of ideas, but in the end, I kept going to this urinal, and I kept seeing WAXY, but they spell it W-A-X-I-E.
Okay.
And I guess it spoke to me.
Oh, this was the company that made the urinal?
Yes,
Or was,
with
okay.
the bumblebee. You
Gotcha.
see the trucks all over the place.
Right.
But so the name just sort of stuck with me, and then but then it sort of became what is it called when each letter stands for something?
Anagram.
Anagram.
Acronym.
Acronym. It's an
Thank you.
acronym.
Yes.
And
what does it stand
means
for?
Without any explanation why. And
I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of stuck with it, and then it's kind of a cutesy name.
It's very catchy. I mean, it's easy to remember.
It is catchy.
Yeah.
You know, your name is the most important and least important thing about you.
Right.
But
Right.
it just sort of stuck around. And the other thing I liked about it is that there's nothing else that is waxy. It's not like if you name your band Steak or
Right.
Soda Pop.
Right.
You know, the waxy only means one thing.
Right.
So, you know, that's...
So how did you guys get together initially?
Well, it's what, 2014? We've been around really... We started making and creating music in 2006, 2007.
Okay.
And it's sort of this melting pot, this motley crew of people. I've had a lot of people in and out. I've had a lot of musicians that played with us that live in Europe, Mexico, all over the place. And it just, you know, you could say I'm the catalyst for the creativity. I own this recording studio. It's like this clubhouse. So there's amps and mics and stuff around it. It's very, very musician friendly. All my musicians, all my friends are musicians. I don't even know anybody that's not really a musician.
Right.
And it just kind of came from there. And we had a lot of friends that toured. And next thing you know, you're kind of in a band. You throw an album together. And
Now, so the WAXY as it exists now has been, so you've had some people come and go along the way. So the
Story of
group
my life.
now has been together how long?
I'd say
This
about
group.
6 months
Okay.
to a year even.
Okay.
Yeah, this incarnation.
And do you write all of your music, some of your music?
It's all a collaboration. You
Yeah.
know, our drummer wasn't able to be here today. We've been playing with a couple different drummers, but Landetta's been our main guy for a long time, and he's a very creative guy and really good with arrangements. And then we've also been playing with Mike Johnson, who is a local desert legend and beyond. You know, he's in multiple bands as well, and he also goes by Mike Pygmy, and he's been in a bunch of great bands. And he's this multi-instrumentalist type of guy, and he plays everything. And so
That's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I play lots of things too.
Yeah.
You play multiple instruments. I think when you get to a certain point, you kind of do that. You learn other skills besides just
Right,
being,
absolutely.
you know, just one thing only. And then when you surround yourself with creative people, you're gonna get something.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, you're gonna get something.
Something. Hopefully it's good. Yeah.
Hopefully it's good.
Now I understand. I've heard that your group is very, very tight musically. So how do you achieve that?
Depends on the night.
Okay.
We've had plenty of loose nights, but the songs themselves are they're pretty structured. You know, we have a lot of things that we'll do. We'll have sections where we'll jam out, we do love doing improv. We do come from that punk rock jazz mentality. I know it's kind of weird to say both, but you know, where anything goes. But we also have real structured songs. And then when you have the DNA that's there, you kind of learn the part, and then you have that strong blueprint, and then you know you play your part.
Yeah.
And then you rehearse it, and you play a few shows, and then they come together.
So where do you play around town? Do you have places that you are regularly, or do you tour out of town also?
We do a lot of touring, not as much as I'd like. You know, there's not that many places in the desert to play. I mean, my favorite place to play is Pappy and Harriet's. We're embraced up there, and Robin and Linda are magical, wonderful, special people.
Yeah.
And they've become very good friends. There's also some other places in Joshua Tree. You know, the high desert is a very spiritual place for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Artists, all artists alike, whether you paint, whether you're an actor, you know, it's a wonderful place to decompress.
Right.
Anyway, we love playing up there. A friend of ours, our friend Kane Motter, he's got this amazing geometric dome up there. We call it Dome Land.
Yeah.
And he's got his artist friend Shig, who takes all these Joshua trees, turns them upside down, paints them all these amazing colors. And he doesn't kill the Joshua trees; they're burn from the fire. And he's got this forest. Anyway, we've played up there quite a few times. And of course, there's the Hood. I mean, locally, there's not that many places in.
And you just shot a live video there recently, correct?
Yeah, we played a live show there. And
right.
Nigel was badass, and it's a home away from home from us. We you know, the people that own it are our age, and it's wonderful. We played the Red Barn for years before that.
Right. So we'd like to get Nigel in this conversation. So tell me, how old were you when you started playing bass?
My dad was a bass player when he was about 14. He had a Ziggy Stardust Bowie / punk rock band, and my mother was a jazz singer. So I've always had a bass around, but they never said play. I just always had it. And I have pictures of me as a little kid in whitey tighties with a bass guitar, and my sister's hair flapped over me like I have super long hair. All
that's great.
I was maybe 4 years old, 5 years old. But I didn't really start playing consistently, like shows and where I really wanted it. I was about 14. I just turned 24, so it's been about 10 years of really an everyday thing. And yeah, about 10 years.
And did you always play this kind of music from the beginning?
I grew up on really great music from my mom, from the jazz side, and then always knowing my dad was a punk rocker, and I've always had the rock and roll and the Motown and the Beatles and the Stones and all the Zeppelin, all the greats. It's always been around, even the obscure things.
Great musical influences,
Always,
yeah. And so did you know from a very young age that this is what you wanted to do as a career?
When I was younger, I really just wanted to skateboard, and I hated school. That's the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
But I always loved music, and I got to a point where I knew it was kind of skateboarding or the bass guitar, and I was always scared I'd break my fingers or something would happen, and that would be the end of it. So I kind of I put that energy and that aggression that I have, because when I do play, I kind of have some sort of aggression that I put into my playing, positive aggression. And,
passion. You can use that
I guess
word
you
too.
could say
Passion. Yeah.
Nigel's a very passionate player.
And I put everything into it, into my playing, and it kind of, I guess it shows subconsciously. I don't really think, oh, I'm doing what I'm doing. It just kind of happens.
You just go into the zone, sort of.
Literally transported.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I have to say that David Ross, our producer, has told me that you are the best hard progressive rock bass player he's ever heard. Just have to tell you that. To throw that out there. So, did you guys click right away when you first started playing? Did you gel right away?
Well, we were both in different bands. I mean, Nigel's in a current band now called Slipping to Darkness, which is an just awesome, outstanding rock band. You know, I call it garage rock. I mean, or surf rock. I mean, it's
considered rock and roll, punk rock, psychedelic, blues, doo-wop.
Yeah,
kind of do it all.
little bit of everything.
Yeah. I was playing in a band called War Drum. And we just kind of got paired up quite a bit, and that really kind of when we first met. Nigel would always ask me, because I was playing bass in another band, and he'd always ask me if he could play my bass or play my amp. Yeah. And I'm like, sure. I'm always like that. I mean, some people are really particular about their gear. I'm not.
Yeah.
If it's around and it's work, I'm just like, just don't knock it over.
Right.
Blow it up. Yeah, don't blow it up.
No. Now, do you guys have some CDs out? Are you working on that? Or
well, WAXY, we have. It's sort of funny, you know. We have an official CD, and we're a record label and distribution company called Coachella.
Okay.
And they are a wonderful company. And we sold quite a few records through them.
Okay.
We have our own website, but we have one official record, and we are working on our second album right now.
Excellent.
Which every band, every artist is always usually really psyched about their current project, and we're no different about that. We've got 18 songs and counting. And
fabulous.
having that clubhouse, that recording studio, we've got our sanctuary.
Right.
And in today's world, a lot of people do. You know, the good computer and some mics, you can kind of do most things at home. I have a commercial facility, but it's enabled us to kind of just keep going. I mean, they're not all going to be on the record, but that's our current status. So.
And I understand you've had some well-known people come and record in your studio.
Oh yeah, I've had some wonderful. I mean,
do you want to throw out some names, or would you rather not?
I think the first really cool thing that ever happened to me when I owned the studio was Brian Setzer came in.
Okay.
And Brian Setzer lived in the desert for a while. This is 05, 06, 07. He did 2 big band records and 2 trio records. And he did all the horns at Capitol.
Right.
But to see Brian Setzer that close up, and to become friends with him, and he's one of the great guitar players to ever live.
Yeah.
And he's a badass. So it was wonderful to see that. I'm trying to think who else was super famous. Bill Medley came into the studio.
Really? Okay.
And that was one of the best things ever. He actually didn't record music. He did a phone interview about Elvis Presley.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I've known a few other people who have known Elvis just from the desert here. And he was one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Really?
His
Yeah.
career's been up and down, and
Yeah.
and things go in and out of favor, and then you had that wonderful comeback with Dirty Dancing,
Right.
and then beyond. And he comes to Joshua Tree once a year, or he did then, with his high school friends.
Wow.
People he's known for 60
Forever.
years. So
Yeah.
that was really
That's great.
exciting. Most recently, Solange Knowles came in. She came in during Coachella.
Okay.
She just looked so beautiful, and
Yeah.
this golden goddess with this
Yeah.
Erykah Badu hair,
Yeah.
and just immensely talented, and was super cool to me, and her band was great, so that was really cool. I mean, those are just a few. I mean, I've had one like Mario Lally. He's grown up here. It's a different class of famous.
Right.
But
right.
he's known throughout the world, and he's an incredible musician and godfather of the desert sound. Josh Homme's been in the studio. Brant Bjork's been in the studio. Gary Arcee's been in the studio. Alfredo
Wow.
Hernandez. These are all desert kind of rocker
Right,
guys.
right.
Tony Tornade's been in the studio, and then like this like mega like all around famous. I should have brought a list.
That's okay. So I wanted to ask you, have you guys done a lot of touring? Is that something you want to do more of, or?
We got,
You know?
we got something in the works. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it.
Well, that's up to you. I don't want to.
We're not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
talk about it.
But maybe
we-
in the
we've been-
future.
We've been on WAXY's been on we've been on 8 tours,
Okay.
all throughout Europe, all throughout the United States,
Excellent.
and we played North by Northwest last year, and we were going to play CMJ. These are in Toronto. We ended up not doing that this year because we were just working on our record. We do
Right.
have some other tours in the works,
Right.
but it looks like we're going to be in Australia. Not Australia, in Europe in November,
Excellent.
which would be
Okay.
great. And we're ticking away, you know. But if you ask me, do I like touring? The answer is yes. There's nothing more that I like.
Okay.
I am at my absolute happiest when I'm on the road.
So I understand you played Coachella Fest recently.
I have another group. That's actually how I met Robbie. Actually, how I connected with him to play. But I have a group called Slipping into Darkness.
Okay.
And blues psychedelic doo-wop band. I think I mentioned earlier.
Right.
And we were called by Paul Toilette, I believe his name is.
The gentleman who runs the
he
whole thing.
called up-
Toilet, not toilet.
Yeah.
I always say toilet.
Yeah.
So, that's how I read it.
It's close. Yeah. Okay.
But, that's what we always joke and say that. But he called my singer Michael on the phone and said, "You guys are going to play." So we were able to get the 2 weekends, and then
He called you directly?
called Michael directly.
I could not be more jealous.
And my band, this is tying in the WAXY to the Slipping. We recorded our album at this guy Brad's studio. It's a really nice studio in Palm Desert, and we spent a lot of time on it. I lost my job over it because I just took so much time off to do it. And I play a show. He comes up to me and he says, "Man, it's gone." I said, "What do you mean, what's gone?" "The recordings, everything is gone. But my hard drive blew up."
Oh
And
my
I was
gosh.
just
Oh
beside
wow.
beside myself, and then for some reason I felt I had the need to connect with Robbie, and I brought one of my best friends, Alvin Taylor, to Robbie, and he brought Eric Burden's daughter to come sing. We had a jam session, and before everybody got there, I told Robbie we were out front, and I said, "Look, dude, Slipping stuff's deleted," and he's all, "You know what? I totally feel for you," and we just kept talking, and he said that his bass player wasn't able to do as much work because he has children and he can't commit to a lot of shows.
Right.
And he says, "Look, if you scratch my back, scratch yours, I'll finish your record."
Right.
And it was just one of those things where it was just, just kind of meant to be.
Right.
We finished the other half of our record, and since then we've been.
I just told him to come in.
homeboys.
Yeah.
I said, just come in. I said, the songs rehearsed? He's like, yeah, we've been playing them for
Yeah.
yes, they're rehearsed. We
Yeah.
recorded them. I'm like, just come in.
Excellent.
And
So Robbie's our savior on that.
Yeah.
You guys would have got it done one way or the other, but
So how was Coachella Fest? How was that?
Hung out with Danny DeVito.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He was actually behind me, and I turned around, I didn't even see him. He was
Yeah.
so small.
Right.
And then I see him, I'm, oh man, Danny DeVito. I watch
have you met Danny?
singing.
I'm sorry?
Have you met Danny DeVito?
No, I've not.
He was probably one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met.
Seems like he'd probably be a nice guy.
Oh my God, he's
Yeah.
a mega music lover. He loves
Yeah.
Phantomas.
Very,
Yeah.
He goes. He's so cool.
Yeah, yeah,
I've never met him,
yeah.
but I
But,
know he's cool.
But I bet that was a great experience.
Yeah, I
Coachella.
was just one of the many, but
Yeah.
but yeah, just the fact to play, and you have to play 2 weekends. I believe that was the first year it was 2
Right.
weekends.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I got to play, and I got to play the next weekend, and yeah, it was great. One of those things where it's kind of like you get a phone call and they say you're playing Coachella
You just
Fest.
go for it. You just go. Yeah.
Okay,
Simple as that.
that's it.
So you guys have a website. How can people get a hold of your music? Find out where you're playing. How would
As
they?
far as WAXY, we've got a Facebook page and we
Okay.
have our HTML page. So it's
All right.
it's. Do I need to?
Yeah,
I don't
we'll just
spell it.
throw it out.
So it's waxy-music.com.
Okay.
So you can
WAXY, WAXY.
WAXY.
Yeah. All right.
And then we have our Facebook page.
Yeah. And where are you playing? Are you playing anywhere local soon?
We don't have any shows locally just because we're so focused on the new record.
The record, that's right.
We are working on getting out of town
Right.
at the end of summer, beginning
Okay.
of winter.
All right.
But we have a show tomorrow night. It's a wonderful place called Cafe Nila in East LA.
Okay.
Through Mario.
Through Mario Lally, who's I had
Okay.
mentioned,
All
who's
right.
someone in the studio. So
Yeah.
he's a good friend and a real just champion
Okay.
of independent self-expression in music.
He deserves a star on the Palm Springs.
All
I
right.
That's how
believe.
important he is to our community.
Maybe that's next for you. Robbie, thank you so much.
Lovely to
Nigel,
meet you.
Thank you very
WAXY,
much.
check them out. Thank you for watching Coachella Valley Music Show. And a big thank you to all our guests. We'll see you next time.